throughout literature, they do something. They employ things called type scenes in different types of genre. But when you see a type scene, it is supposed to conjure up in the viewer or the reader certain emotions, certain images, certain memories. It's supposed to trigger all that and come together so that there's this underlying current of a message that surrounds the scene that is being displayed. So typically, this is seen often in old westerns. You got the good guy dressed in all white, usually bad guy in black. You've got a bar fight. Somebody gets a bottle broken over their head. Yeah, I mean, you know before they even enter the bar, this fight's going to break out. You know it because it's a typical scene. A showdown at sundown out in the main street. The quick draw. All of the type scenes that occur. And historically, not just in literature, but historically, we have seen this played out in the play of and the drama of human affairs. This holding a bridge has a lot of meaning inside for people throughout history. And so it does become the topic of a lot of movies because it is so packed full of emotion. When you think about holding a bridge or fighting for a bridge, you think of the courage that is tied to the individual that goes against all odds to hold that bridge. You think of the sacrifice, the sacrifices that are made over and over and over. And usually it's in this case, like in Concord, it was the shot heard around the world. It was all about freedom. And these days we are seeing our own right now we are seeing our own little type scene and drama being played out on the human stage, and it's ironically or not so ironically all centered around this bridge. And there's a lot of great sacrifice and a lot of courage being demonstrated and all that against a evil dragon. Remember this in Lord of the Rings, and Gandalf saying, "You shall not pass," and then collapses the bridge, and he tells his friends to run, you fools. That's what I remember. But this idea of alone, just making that lone stand and going up against anything, even if it cost you your life. And of course, Saving Private Ryan is the same, type of story. And I mean, throughout history, I mean, it's all about freedom, a fight for our freedom, to reclaim our freedom against tyranny. But these guys who fight, these little ones who are standing up for freedom, they always employ the same tactics. Like this fella here and this guy here, if you would take a look at this guy who's speaking, he is an authority. And he's basically letting everybody know, look, 2,000 firearms were stolen recently, and you should be on the lookout for these to get planted into the protest, because as in true Hitler fashion, where you attack your own people and you plant things and you set up an excuse to come in and attack in full military gear, or we would not be surprised, because this is a type scene again. This is a typical scene that we expect the bad guys to always do. They plant, and sadly they get away with it often in history. They plant something, and then they say, oh, look, this is a violent protest. We need to come in and march with our tear gas and our weapons. That's what you would expect these people do, because from their very heart is nothing but deception and corruption. And that is the playbook that they work off of. And they do it so many times. The public should start seeing, yeah, this is typical. This is a type scene that you guys play out over and over and over again. You set up something that's false as an excuse to stomp your boots right over everyone. Another one that's interesting is the freeze on the bank accounts. The truckers are losing their funds, like they can't even access their funds. Their insurance coverage is gone. I mean, basically stripping them of all, basically stripping them of everything. And think about the times that we live in right now and where we are headed, where they can just at the press of a button shut off someone's resources just completely. And thousands of years ago, the Bible had said this day is going to come where, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive the mark in their right hand or in their forehead. and that no man might buy or sell, save that he had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So the Bible tells us thousands of years ago that there would be a society that was global communication, global currency, global governing, global. I mean, and trust me, we're there. We have a global governing system, and that this society would be globally controlled down to the point that if you didn't receive this mark, you cannot buy or sell. And how perfectly we are seeing all of this get set up right now. And it is the playbook. So it's interesting that it comes down to a bridge and the symbolism that we see from those who fight on the bridge, the courage, the self-sacrifice, and the heroics that are involved in those scenes. But just wanted to share that. God bless.